This is a game ranger's badge. This is his uniform, and this is the man. This is his story, the story of this man and others like him, the story of his job and its problems, the story of the work he does for you. One of the game ranger's problems is as ancient as Robin Hood and the Sheriff of Nottingham. The problem? Poaching, the illegal and irresponsible slaughter of game. Confronted with poaching, the ranger's duty is clear. He must stamp it out. To stamp out poaching could mean several things. It could mean arrest. It could mean conviction. But is the problem in all cases simple, illegal hunting, or is it something else? Is the solution in the law, or is it somewhere in the mind and experience of the man enforcing the law? Do the circumstances demand that this man make an arrest or make a friend? He will decide. He is trained to decide. The game ranger is schooled at great expense in both direct and preventive enforcement. As a part of his job, he has spent long hours in classrooms and in the field, teaching and being taught, learning by experience to bring about observance of the game laws of Oklahoma. He's thoroughly versed in the law. He understands the workings and responsibilities of the Game and Fish Department. He has learned to share the interests of Oklahoma sportsmen. For every game ranger in the state, there are over 7,000 sportsmen licensed annually. There are 7,000 fish in this net. Pick one out. Give it a badge. Throw it back. The job is that big. It requires special skills and special equipment. At his own expense, the ranger purchases the tools experience has proven he will need. Except for his uniform, he must buy everything from his car to his flashlight, from his boots to his books. He must be skilled as a teacher. He instructs sportsmen, and especially future sportsmen. He works in conjunction with schools, civic clubs, and with such organizations as the Boy Scouts and the Campfire Girls. He might be called upon to discuss botany. At another time, his subject might be wildlife in general, or woods lore, or some phase of conservation. Where a warning will prevent a violation, he gives it. Where an unsafe practice, such as fishing from a narrow, unguarded bridge, occurs, he advises caution. Where friendly suggestion might prevent the unthinking destruction of small game, the ranger finds it is often wisest to suggest a change of targets. Where organization and arbitration are required, such as at a fishing derby, the ranger acts as a representative of the Game and Fish Department, giving freely of his time in the interests of public relations. State game rangers are assigned to full-time patrol on all large bodies of water in Oklahoma. On lake patrol, a ranger is of service in many ways, not always in direct connection with law enforcement. He is prepared and available to assist anyone who might be interested in chartering a sportsman's club. In the field, he is at hand to help sportsmen find the best hunting and fishing grounds. Rangers answer pest control calls from farmers. He will answer questions of farmers and give suggestions as to the most effective predator control. Often he spends long hours in the hot sun. This ranger's using a coyote call, which makes a sound like a hurt rabbit. There are other duties he must perform. In the field of direct enforcement, the problems of pollution are a full-time job for special pollution control officers. It is the duty of these officers to inspect probable contamination sources for pollutants. These sources may be either industrial or municipal. An oil well drilling pit should be properly trenched to prevent runoff in case of flood. And when abandoned, it should be covered. It is the pollution control officer's job to see that these requirements are met. The game and fish laws charge that no person, firm, or corporation shall deposit any harmful substance in any place so that it may run or be washed into streams or ponds. Poisonous drilling waste is death to fish and wildlife. Vegetation suffers along the banks of polluted streams, and serious erosion results. Contaminated water drains from pits to streams and from streams to rivers. Often, livestock is poisoned miles from the pit, and it's the ranger's duty to trace pollution to its source. The ranger must then determine whether the pollution occurred through negligence, intent, or accident. Where it is warranted, he will make an arrest. Also, he'll take steps to see that pollution does not occur again. The majority of Oklahoma's oil operators cooperate with the pollution control officers and with other state agencies interested in clean waters. Operators find it is to their advantage to comply with the law. Other specially skilled rangers are assigned to fly the Game and Fish Department airplanes. Working through the supervisors in charge of the regional offices, the ranger pilots help the ranger on the ground by directing him to specific locations. Special air-to-ground radio equipment is carried in the airplanes and patrol cars. Rivers are patrolled by air for illegal fishing. In January, the ranger pilots fly the annual waterfowl counts. They make general surveys of habitat conditions with rangers from the area concerned. From the air, ranger pilots patrol prearranged areas. If they see hunters in the fields out of season, they notify rangers on the ground. These men close in, first by car, then on foot. Also, the airplane is used to spot hunters during regular seasons so that rangers can make routine license checks. License checking alone accounts for a large part of the ranger's time. Some people neglect to buy hunting and fishing licenses. Therefore, all sportsmen must be checked. The airplane assists the ranger to conduct this activity more efficiently. Also, the airplane is available to fly rangers from one region to another. During deer season, for example, additional rangers are often needed to set up checking stations. These men are available to sell licenses, to give advice to hunters, or to render any necessary aid. They enforce the law. They keep an accurate count of the state's deer herd by taking such data as age, sex, and number of deer shot in a given area during the season. This is the kind of enforcement most often seen by sportsmen in Oklahoma. Another kind, less often seen, frequently has its beginning when a farmer posts his field. A farmer posts fields for many reasons. If a farmer has lost livestock to careless or indifferent hunters, the ranger must reestablish good relations between the farmer and responsible hunters who might wish to hunt in the farmer's fields. Here the ranger must act as a detective. He spends many hours talking to people in the area who might know of the violation. He has special investigating techniques. He is familiar with the methods applied to the collection of evidence, and through the assistance of such departments as ballistic labs, his record of solutions is high. A bullet can be traced to the gun which fired it, and the gun can be traced to its owner. Here again, the ranger must fit the case to the law. He must decide as to intent, and he must determine which method, direct enforcement or preventive enforcement, offers the best solution to the circumstances in order to bring about future observance of the law. There is more than one way to pay for a cow. And there is more than one kind of game law violator. In cases of this kind, where the violator is not only guilty but hardened in the habit of violation, the ranger secures a conviction. Charged with enforcing observance of the law, the ranger, when circumstances warrant, must produce the evidence required for conviction. In cases where a fine is assessed and paid, half the money goes to the county in which the conviction was secured, the other half to the Game and Fish Department. This, then, is the job, as it is performed daily. But in addition, rangers are trained and available to render assistance in time of disaster. In this atomic age, they are given special disaster training. They're schooled in first aid, in firefighting and crowd management, in rescue techniques and civil defense. They are trained in the technique of removing injured from burning buildings. At all times, your game rangers are available. They will serve when disaster strikes. All this is the ranger's job. These are a few of the men who fill it, the representatives of the Game and Fish Department in the field. You can help them. Oklahoma Game Rangers are teachers of sportsmanship. They are diplomats in the field, relentless enforcement officers, friends of the sportsmen of Oklahoma. They are your wildlife guardians, the men who seek your observance of the state game and fish laws. They are your Oklahoma Game Rangers.